What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Rick and Morty Season 5, Episode 3 breakdown, recap, and review. Man, after last week, I think we all needed a real simple episode, and with this episode titled A Rick Convenient Mort, we know exactly what we are getting ourselves in for, with it being a play on an inconvenient truth, which followed Al Gore trying to educate people about global warming back in 2006, but of course, he was largely mocked, especially ruthlessly, by South Park, but history has proven him right. However, this episode opens with Rick and Morty getting ready for their Planet Apocalypse tour with t-shirts saying Rick and Morty Pussy Pounders, which reminded me of the Pussy Patrol from In-Betweeners with those infamous t-shirts. Now, which was even better was when Summer takes Morty's place, Rick actually changed the names on them and adds a ponytail and boobs. Also mentioned was their love of merch, which is of course, the show is ridiculously merchandised and is probably one of the most merchandised adult cartoons, I think, on the planet. Now, a woman named Planet Tina arrives to fend off the Diesel Weasel, which is probably a riff on Verminous Scum, a villain on Captain Planet, which, well, Planet Tina is based on. Of course, instantly, Morty does fall in love and goes on a date with her, abandoning Rick. Captain Planet formed the main parody, which featured Captain Planet, who is summoned by kids with power rings from each continent of Earth. The intro is riffed on, which Morty shows Beth, and I loved how the show actually has the kids, the Planetinas, being in the 90s like the original show, and they've all grown up as Beth questions the age of Planet Tina, which is voiced by Alison Brie. Now, Summer is jealous of Morty dating a Phase 4 superhero, but is soon drafted by Rick to actually really go on their sexcapades across the apocalypse eye. And I really let out a chuckle as Jerry whined about his egg plate. In the Inside the Episode segment, the writer said how the episode is meant to show true drama and heartache, with Beth being more of a mother, which is pretty much what we see throughout this episode. While she allows Morty to go on crazy adventures with Rick, deep down she must know that he's safe, but him getting his heart broken is a real danger, especially as she feels he's far too young. And despite her and Jerry's protest, both Summer and Morty head off on their own adventures. Morty is off hoping to try and run into Planet Tina at what he calls the biggest wildfire of the year, a reference to the increasing frequency that wildfires occur, and it could not have come at a more actual fitting time with the ocean on fire and a huge wildfire in Cyprus. And each one of these does seem to be bigger than the last. Now, he does actually come across Planet Tina while he's pretending to try and save a bunny, and the pair hit it off once more. But she says how she's got kids, referring to the grown-up kids who summon her. They've taken her power for granted, having abandoned the whole aim of the Planetinas, a riff on Captain Planet's Planeteers, and control Planetina for their own monetary gain. It's a really clever parody, and I was always hoping for another maybe gritty reboot of Captain Planet. But we cut to the B story of Rick and Summer's sexcapades, which, yeah, I appreciate they're trying to have a different take on attachments and love, but I really feel that the whole thing was a bit unfunny and a bit far too gratuitous as they talk about eating ass, which went on a bit too long. It also sucks as Diesel Weasel was a pretty funny villain, and I would have loved to have more of him, but the B story heads to Planet Morgluts, and they plan to be hedonistic and bone down until Rick gets attached to Daphne, and, well, he actually takes her with them as that planet is destroyed due to the size of her elbow tits. And I found it funny how Summer called herself Mrs. Obama. Now, Planet Tina's relationship with Morty progresses, with them texting, and I loved how throughout it's not the usual cynical Morty gets done over or referred to as just being a friend, or the relationship is just one-sided. It is a real love story, and Jessica is clearly not in his mind anymore, and the Flowers song, When They Kiss, was superb, which is Clearly a euphemism for, well, they did more than just kiss, as they overslept, which we saw when they were summoned to EcoCon, as they're together on stage, much to the Planetina's anger. And I loved how they distracted the crowd by giving out $50 exclusive fun codes, which, yeah, a reference to those things being far too expensive these days. Now, Rick and Summer head to another apocalypse on a planet called Slartivart, which I do wonder if it's a reference to Slarty Bartfast, the planet designer in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and Summer learns of Rick's attachment, and Summer would also learn that Daphne is only with him to survive, which, hey, can you really blame her? And I found it funny when all she says is pretty much like, hello, and it reminded me of Janice from Friends or the nanny as well. Now, Morty is held prisoner and tortured by Eddie of the Planetinas, but he goes mad and kills him using the ring as well as the security. As well as this, we see Morty head to take out all of the Planetinas and steal their ring to save Planetina, as they are planning to sell her to a rich guy who is clearly evil with his baby seals. It's a bloodbath, and I found it hilarious how Morty's hat said murder pie. So we see the cool action scene, and it's neat how the Arab guy was like, I represent nothing specific, which made me laugh as he dies. Morty and Planetina progress very quickly as they play Don't Punch My Lunch, which it always makes me laugh, the small background things in here, when the thing was just saying, no, don't punch my lunch, as Morty and Planetina say how they love each other, and Jerry's only focused on the board game, not seemingly caring at all about anything other than just saying, or at least expressing some disgust at Morty murdering loads of people. Morty feels looked down on, citing his adventures, saying they've helped him grow and he can look after himself. It's a real drama-filled story about a boy and a romance, despite his mother's reservations about it. However, he leaves after Planetina is told she can't move in, and they go off setting the world right, but Planetina gets increasingly more and more violent with firebombs and then murdering a whole mining crew, which is just too far for Morty. I mean, these guys at the mine, they're just people at the end of the day. And it does show just how far this eco-terrorism is going by attacking the everyday people. These guys just are trying to earn a job, but, well, it's the people who are behind them that are the problem. The B story comes to a close with Summer having enough of her grandfather's romance, and people on Focus 9 are living the horniest life, breaking all boundaries, with one guy having gay sex with his dad, which I felt was a bit icky there, and was picked up in the post-credit scene, and Summer saves the planet, and they all need to live with what they did on their final days. Now, they seemed angry about having to go back to their lives, and we see that the son and the dad have an awkward work day as the mother's left the family due to what happened, which, yeah, enough said about that, the better. Now, throughout the show's life, we learn how Summer is the most like Rick, with Morty trying to escape the fate of ending up like Jerry. We see it again as she saves the planet just so Rick doesn't get attached. Now, the episode ends with Planetina wanting to reunite, but I loved how Morty was the one to end things. Love hurts, and as Dan Harmon said in the behind the episodes bit, it would be too easy for Morty just to get dumped. They compare massacres, and while he murdered her kids so she didn't get sold, she did what she did in an increasingly escalating way. Beth again takes up the role of mother by comforting, which is the biggest growth I think you've seen of that character. While not the craziest, funniest, or most meta episode, it certainly had the most heart and was possibly one of the best written episodes. The misery of love and heartache was counteracted with a B story. While not up to my usual standard for the show, it shows what happens with the rebound and nihilistic hedonism. Overall, I really enjoyed the episode. While not as crazy as the others, I still think that there was a lot of stuff to take out from this. But that's it for this video, so if you enjoyed it, please do drop a like, do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon tomorrow for the trailer breakdown, Wednesday for Loki, Thursday for my Black Widow ending explained and Easter eggs video, and Friday for the post-credit video of Black Widow. Have a good day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Goodbye.